The viral revolution. Dolores Martinez stared at her phone like it was a ticking bomb. 7 reminder apps. 7. And somehow, she'd still forgotten to take her blood pressure medication. Until her watch started screaming at her during water aerobics. There has to be a better way, she muttered, jabbing at her screen. With the determination of someone who'd once managed an entire elementary school. With nothing but a whistle and a clipboard. Meanwhile, 3 blocks away, Marvin Chen was experiencing his own technological crisis. The 68-year-old retired electrical engineer was trying to video call his granddaughter. And had somehow ended up in a random Zoom meeting about cryptocurrency. A teenager with purple hair was explaining Bitcoin while Marvin frantically searched for the exit button. I designed circuit boards for NASA, he whispered to himself. And I can't figure out how to hang up on a child. This was the state of things when destiny disguised as a passive-aggressive community newsletter struck. Chapter 1: The Call to Apps. The Sunset Pines Senior Center smelled like coffee, disappointment, and the faint ghost of yesterday's tuna casserole. Dolores sat in a folding chair that squeaked. Like it was filing a complaint with HR, reading the community notice board. Budget cuts effective immediately, canceling Tuesday card games, Thursday movie nights, and the transportation service. They're canceling everything, grumbled Hank Morrison, a silver-haired ex-marketing executive who still wore ties to casual events. Next they'll charge us rent to breathe the air. Priya, a former nurse with the kind of sharp eyes that could diagnose you from across a room, sighed. My daughter keeps telling me there's an app for everything. Transportation apps, social apps, reminder apps. Apps, Dolores said slowly, an idea forming like a storm cloud. What if we made an app? The silence that followed was so profound you could hear Marvin's hearing aid whistling. Are you having a stroke? Hank asked. Should we call someone? I'm serious. Dolores stood up, her eyes blazing with the fire of a woman who'd once unionized an entire school district. We're not helpless. We're experienced, educated, and we've got time. Why can't we build something for us? June Patterson, the center's resident social butterfly who wore more jewelry than a chandelier, laughed so hard her pearls rattled. Honey, I still think the cloud means rain is coming. But that's the point, Dolores insisted. We understand what seniors actually need, not what some 25-year-old in Silicon Valley thinks we need. Marvin adjusted his glasses thoughtfully. You know, the basic architecture wouldn't be that complex. User interface, database, notification system. See? Dolores grabbed his arm. Marvin's already engineering. Who else is in? Chapter 2: The Dream Team Assembles. 1 week later, Dolores's living room looked like a support group for people who'd lost a fight with a Radio Shack. There were post-it notes everywhere. A whiteboard covered in something that might have been code, or might have been ancient hieroglyphics, and enough coffee to fuel a small rocket program. The team had grown to 5. Dolores, project manager and chief visionary, ruling with an iron fist wrapped in a floral print cardigan. Marvin, chief technical officer, constantly explaining things 3 times because everyone kept forgetting what API meant. Priya, medical consultant and voice of reason, insisting that if they got pill reminders wrong, people could literally die. Hank, marketing director, armed with business jargon from 1987 and unshakable confidence. June, self-appointed chief vibe officer, who'd already designed a logo using clip art of a rocket ship and a rocking chair. Okay, team, Dolores announced, standing in front of the whiteboard. Like a general addressing troops. Our goal: launch a working app by the spring fair. That's 12 weeks. 12 weeks. Priya choked on her tea. Amazon takes longer to deliver packages. We can do this, Dolores said firmly. First question: what's it called? Golden Years Plus, Hank suggested. Sounds like a premium casket service, June countered. How about SilverLink? SilverLink it is. Dolores wrote it on the whiteboard before anyone could argue. Now, features. What do we actually need? The list came fast. Pill reminders that actually work. Social event calendar, no more missing game nights. Rideshare coordination because the bus system was a nightmare. Photo memory prompts. Remember when? Notifications. Local volunteer network. Big buttons crucial, as Marvin demonstrated by misclicking and accidentally calling 911. Call to action number 1. Before we continue, June said, looking directly at her phone. If you're enjoying this story of 5 seniors trying to disrupt Silicon Valley with nothing but determination and questionable Wi-Fi, hit that like button and subscribe. Trust me, it gets better, or at least more chaotic. Chapter 3: The Learning Curve from Hell. Week 1 was humbling. Marvin signed them up for Coding for Beginners online. The instructor was 12, possibly younger. He had braces and a voice that hadn't changed yet. And he kept saying things like, "It's super easy, guys," while Dolores frantically scribbled notes that looked like a conspiracy theory wall. "What's a string?" Hank whispered. "I think it's like text." Priya guessed. "It is text," Marvin said, then paused. "Sort of. It's stored text. As data." "That's what I said," Priya shot back. June, meanwhile, had discovered YouTube tutorials and was watching a guy in a hoodie explain JavaScript at roughly the speed of an auctioneer. "I think he's speaking English," she reported, "but I can't be sure." The breakthrough came when Dolores, in a fit of frustration, taped actual index cards to her wall, each one representing a different screen in the app. "This," she announced, "is old-school UX design. We walk through the user journey with cards." It was brilliant. They spent 3 hours shuffling cards, arguing about workflow, and actually understanding how the app should feel. "See?" Dolores said triumphantly. "We don't need to think like young tech bros. We think like ourselves." Week 3 brought their first minor miracle, a working prototype. It was ugly, the kind of ugly that suggested a color-blind person had fought with a 1990s website and lost, but it worked. You could set a reminder. You could check a calendar. The buttons were gloriously, blessedly large. "It's beautiful," June whispered, tears in her eyes. "It's functional," Marvin corrected, but he was smiling. Chapter 4: Beta Testing and Breakthroughs. They recruited 20 neighbors for beta testing. The feedback was mixed. "The calendar is great, but can you make the font bigger? I love the pill reminders. But they're too quiet. I can't hear them. What does this button do?" I pressed it, and now there's a picture of a cat on my screen. Marvin had accidentally left some test code in. The cat stayed. People loved the cat, but there were wins, too. Mrs. Henderson reported she hadn't missed a medication in 2 weeks. Mr. Yakamura organized a chess tournament through the social calendar. The rideshare feature connected 3 people who'd been neighbors for 40 years, but never knew they all needed rides to the same grocery store. "This is actually working," Priya said in disbelief. Hank, ever the marketer, saw opportunity. "We need a promotional strategy. Videos, maybe? Show people how it works." "I can do that," June volunteered. She'd been taking phone photography classes and was eager to practice. Chapter: The 5th of June goes viral accidentally. June's promotional vision was simple, heartfelt testimonials set to inspiring music, showing seniors using SilverLink to improve their lives. What she actually created was chaos in video form. The first clip showed Hank doing a slow-motion demonstration of the pill reminder feature. He was wearing sunglasses indoors. For some reason, June had edited in explosion sounds when the notification went off. The second clip was June herself, lip-syncing to a jingle. She'd written, "Pills at 8, pills at 4. SilverLink reminds you so you don't ignore." She was dancing, wearing a boa. The third clip was Marvin trying to explain API architecture and getting increasingly flustered. As Dolores's cat walked across the keyboard, June posted all three to TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook with the hashtag #SeniorStartupLife. Then she went to bed. By morning, the pill reminder video had 50,000 views. By lunch, it was 200,000. By dinner, Grandma Boa dancing was a trending topic. And someone had auto-tuned June's jingle into a remix that was climbing the charts. "We're famous?" June whispered, staring at her phone. "We're memes," Dolores corrected, scrolling through parody accounts. Someone had created SilverLink fails. Another account was posting fake, senior tech tips, using their footage. Marvin looked shell-shocked. "My granddaughter just sent me a meme of me. From her school. Chapter 6 Fame, Fortune, and Terrible Decisions." The viral explosion brought unexpected attention. A tech blog called them adorably incompetent. A morning show wanted to interview them. And most surprisingly, an email from Venture Forward Capital. "We're impressed by your organic reach and authentic engagement. Let's talk about scaling SilverLink." The team met at Dolores's house in a state of barely controlled hysteria. "This is it," Hank paced excitedly. "Real funding. We could hire developers, expand features, launch nationally. They want to meet next week." June added, still riding high from her newfound influencer status. She'd gained 10,000 followers overnight. But Priya frowned at the email. "Did you read the whole thing? They're talking about monetization strategies and data partnerships." "That's just business language," Hank dismissed. "It's code for selling user information," Priya snapped. "Our users are seniors trusting us with their medical data. Their schedules, their lives." Dolores, who'd been quiet, finally spoke. "Let's hear them out. But carefully." "Hold on," June said, turning to her phone camera. "Are you all as stressed as I am about where this is going? Drop a like if you think they should take the money, and subscribe if you think they should run away screaming." The comment section is about to get spicy. Chapter 7 The Deal with the Devil in a Very Nice Suit. Trevor Ashcroft from Venture Forward Capital looked exactly like what you'd get if you fed a LinkedIn profile into a 3D printer. Expensive haircut, expensive suit, expensive smile. "I love what you've built," he gushed. Sitting in Sunset Pines Senior Center's meeting room. The authenticity, the virality, the engagement. This is exactly what the market needs. "We're glad you see the value," Dolores began. "Here's the vision," Trevor interrupted, pulling up a slide deck. SilverLink Premium. Subscription tiers. Partnerships with pharmaceutical companies for targeted advertising. Maybe a reality show? Senior startup, I see 8 episodes minimum. The room fell silent. Targeted. Pharmaceutical advertising? Priya repeated slowly. "Based on user health data, yes. It's genius. Your users already input their medications. We partner with pharma companies. They get access to incredibly specific demographic info, everybody wins. Except our users," Marvin said quietly. "Who trusted us with private medical information." Trevor laughed. "It's all anonymized, legally compliant. This is how tech works." "This isn't how we work," Dolores said firmly. Trevor's smile didn't waver. "Think about it. We're offering $500,000 for 51% equity. That's life-changing money. You could expand, hire a real team, maybe even retire." He caught himself. "Well, retire again, properly this time." Hank's eyes were practically dollar signs. June looked tempted. Marvin seemed troubled. Priya was furious. And Dolores. "We'll discuss it and get back to you," Dolores said coldly. Chapter 8 The Team Fractures. The argument started the moment Trevor left. $500,000. Hank exploded. Do you know what we could do with that? This could actually be a real company. At the cost of betraying everyone who trusted us. Priya shot back. Selling their private health information? It's anonymized. It's wrong, Dolores interrupted. We started this to help our community, not exploit them. June, surprisingly, was conflicted. I get both sides. But also, I've gotten messages from hundreds of seniors saying our videos made them feel seen, made them feel like they matter. If we sell to that guy, we lose that. We lose nothing, Hank insisted. We grow it. More users, more features. More compromises, Marvin added quietly. My wife died from medication complications. Because a doctor prescribed the wrong thing. Someone probably profited from that prescription. I won't profit from others the same way. The silence was devastating. Hank grabbed his coat. You're all being naive. This is how business works. Then maybe, Dolores said softly. We're not meant to be that kind of business. Hank left. June followed, torn. The remaining three sat in Dolores's living room, surrounded by post-it notes and dreams that suddenly felt very fragile. Chapter 9: Consequences and Community. The fallout was immediate. A local reporter, tipped off by someone, ran a story. Senior app builders face backlash over viral fame. The article wasn't entirely wrong. Some community members felt uncomfortable with the attention. Mrs. Henderson worried her grandkids would see her in videos. The senior center director fielded complaints about exploitation and making a mockery of seniors. The SilverLink fails parody account had gotten mean, posting edited clips that made them look foolish. Dolores stopped answering her phone. June's influencer high crashed when trolls flooded. Her comments, stick to knitting, grandma. This is sad. Just stop. But there were other messages too. A woman in Ohio, your app helped my mom organize her medications after her stroke. Thank you. A man in Florida, I'm 72. And I just coordinated a chess club through SilverLink. First time I've felt connected in years. A teenager in Portland, my grandpa showed me your videos. They're actually hilarious and sweet. Please don't stop. June read these aloud to Dolores, who sat in her armchair, looking smaller than usual. I thought we were helping, Dolores whispered. Did we make things worse? Chapter 10: The Redemption Plan. Marvin showed up at midnight with printouts. I've been researching, he announced, spreading papers across Dolores's coffee table. Nonprofit tech funding, community grants, cooperative business models. There are ethical ways to grow this. Priya arrived minutes later. I called my daughter. She works in nonprofit healthcare. She wants to help. June burst through the door, still in pajamas. I've been messaging other senior influencers. Real ones, not parody accounts. They want to collaborate, show real stories. Dolores looked at her team tired, determined, refusing to give up. Okay, she said, standing up with renewed purpose. Here's what we do. Chapter 11: The Counter-Campaign. Operation Authentic Voices launched at dawn. June created a new video series, Real Seniors, Real Stories. No lip-syncing, no explosions. Just honest testimonials from SilverLink users explaining how it helped them. Mrs. Henderson talked about medication safety. Mr. Yakamura demonstrated the social calendar. A Korean War veteran explained how the rideshare feature helped him get to VA appointments. Priya organized a town hall at the senior center, inviting everyone's supporters, skeptics, and the press. Marvin drafted a transparent, user privacy commitment, promising never to sell data, ever. And Hank came back. I was wrong, he admitted, standing in Dolores's doorway, looking thoroughly humbled. I got caught up in the money and forgot why we started this. Can I help fix it? Can you write copy that doesn't sound like a 1987 infomercial? Dolores asked. I can try. Chapter 12: The Spring Fair Showdown. The Sunset Pines Spring Fair was usually a quiet affair, bake sale, raffle, maybe a folk band if the budget allowed. This year, it was packed. The SilverLink booth had a line. June was doing live demonstrations. Her phone propped up streaming the whole thing. Marvin had set up tablets showing the app in action. Priya handed out the privacy commitment, explaining it to anyone who asked. And Trevor Ashcroft showed up. Quite the setup, he said smoothly, approaching Dolores. Ready to talk terms? Actually, Dolores said, we're good. Trevor blinked. I'm sorry? We secured a community development grant. 3-year funding, no equity required, no user data sold. We're partnering with a nonprofit tech collective. We'll grow slowly, ethically, and we'll do it our way. You're turning down $500,000 to stay small? We're turning down $500,000 to stay honest, Dolores corrected. There's a difference. June, overhearing, abandoned her demo and walked over, phone still streaming. You know what you represent? She said to Trevor, years of being underestimated pouring into her voice. You represent every time someone told us we were too old, too slow, too irrelevant. That we should just sit down and let younger people handle the real world. Well, guess what? We're not sitting down. And we're definitely not letting people like you profit off our community's trust. The growing crowd applauded. Trevor left quickly. The video of June's speech? It got 2 million views in 24 hours. But this time, the comments were different. This is what integrity looks like. I'm 28 and I want to be like her when I grow up. Installing SilverLink right now. Chapter 13 Resolution and New Beginnings. 6 months later, SilverLink had 50,000 users across 15 states. The app remained free, funded by grants and small donations. The team hired 2 part-time developers, both recent retirees who wanted meaningful work. Dolores started a mentorship program, teaching other seniors how to advocate for themselves in tech spaces. Marvin ran weekly Tech for Seniors workshops, patiently explaining the internet to anyone who asked. Priya partnered with local healthcare providers to ensure medical features were accurate and safe. Hank found his groove writing genuinely good copy. That didn't sound like it crawled out of a time capsule. In June became a legitimate senior influencer, using her platform to highlight age-positive content, call out ageism, and occasionally post videos of herself dancing in increasingly elaborate boas. At Sunset Pines Senior Center, Tuesday card games were back. Thursday movies were back. And every Friday, there was a new meetup organized through SilverLink book clubs, walking groups, tech tutorials. Even a surprisingly competitive esports team. Marvin's grandson was coaching. We did it, Dolores said, watching neighbors laugh and connect and thrive. We're not done yet, Marvin replied, showing her a list of feature requests. Somebody wants to add a pet adoption network. Next version, Dolores decided. Then, smiling, this is pretty good. For a bunch of irrelevant, old people, huh? June appeared, phone in hand, forever documenting. Hey everyone. If this story inspired you, reminded you that age is just a number and determination is ageless, smash that like button. Subscribe for more stories about people proving the doubters wrong. And share this with someone who needs to remember that it's never too late to start something amazing. She winked at the camera. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a chess tournament to livestream. The seniors versus the high school team. It's about to get intense. The end. Because sometimes, the best disruption comes from the people who were supposedly disrupted. Thank you for listening to our channel.